Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump's new Attorney General, Pam Bondi, just got done absolutely torching the radical progressives that have been working to undermine the America First agenda. Now, Ms. Bondi pretty much covered everything that's going on right now. To be honest, she really knocked it out of the park. So I think the best thing to do with all this is just to jump right into it. So hey, without further delay, take a look at what Ms. Bondi had to say to all of the radical progressive politicians that have been prioritizing illegal immigrants over American citizens.
We're here today because we have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today.
You hear that? The Democrats' anti-American agenda is done. Now, not only did these three highly corrupt New York progressive politicians siphon off millions of taxpayer dollars to put illegal immigrants in ritzy five-star hotels, but as you might remember, they also sought to weaponize the justice system against President Trump. Namely, Letitia James, New York's Attorney General, who actually ran her campaign on the promise of putting Trump in a prison cell by whatever means necessary. Pretty much the pure definition of partisan corruption. But you know what they say, what goes around comes around, and hey, between you and me, I'm not the least bit unhappy that charges are finally being brought against these corrupt Democrats. They really are as corrupt and anti-American as you can possibly be. But okay, now I want you guys to take a look at what Pam Bondi had to say about all of these leakers from inside of the federal government.
Tom Homan suggested this week that someone from within the FBI may be leaking information about the ICE raids and that such could be putting officers' lives at risk. Has the DOJ gotten any closer to determining if these leaks are coming from within the FBI? And what will the consequences be if they can identify the leakers from the FBI?
Excuse me. Well, first, I can't talk about anything that is ongoing, and that is ongoing. And it's really for the similar reasons of what I said earlier. The great men and women in law enforcement standing behind me today, they must be protected. And anytime anyone leaks or tips off anything regarding a pending investigation, that jeopardizes lives. You're telling a bad guy what's about to happen. It could jeopardize the lives of all the men and women in law enforcement. We will not stand for it. We will find you. We're going to investigate it, no matter what agency it came from. We don't know for certain. We have an open investigation, so I can't talk about it in detail, but we will do everything in our power to hold you accountable, and it is a crime, and you will be prosecuted when we find you.
Now, folks, call me hard on crime, but I just can't fathom how leaking ICE operations to illegal immigrants and cartel gang members isn't treason. Because, hey, as I'm sure you all know, these cartel gangs are now terminologically terrorist organizations. So keep in mind, all of these people inside the federal government that are leaking information, guess what? They are quite literally aiding and abetting terrorist organizations. Not a good look. But now, before we move on with the rest of the video, I want to say real quick, if you guys enjoy the news coverage, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton with my daily struggle against the YouTube algorithm. But okay, let's move on and take a look at what Miss Pam Bondi had to say about Elon Musk's ongoing endeavor to cut waste out of our federal budget.
You know, at USAID alone, they're giving out billions of dollars that should not be distributed. We're going to back him up. You know, we work our whole lives in this country, and we all pay taxes in this country. And for people to find out that $2 million is going to Guatemala for sex changes is outrageous. And we're going to back up Elon Musk every way we can. That includes lawsuits against these people who are doing that, and we will be successful.
You hear that? Defraud the government, and you will pay the price. So what that means is that finally we have an attorney general that is dead set on maintaining law and order. Isn't that a nice change of pace? But okay, now this next clip I think you guys are going to like a lot. This is Miss Bondi's closing statement, which is effectively a warning shot being fired over the bow of all of these very progressive sanctuary states.
And if you don't comply with federal law, we will hold you accountable. We did it to Illinois. Strike one. Strike two is New York. And if you are a state not complying with federal law, you're next. Get ready. And the great men and women of law enforcement are standing behind me today. We have FBI, DEA, ATF agents. They put their lives on the line every single day to protect us. And what New York has, they have green light laws, meaning they're giving a green light to any illegal alien in New York where law enforcement officers cannot check their identity if they pull them over. Law enforcement officers do not have access to their background. And if these great men and women pull over someone and don't have access to their background, they have no idea who they're dealing with. And it puts their lives on the line every single day. Violent criminals, gang members, drug traffickers, human smugglers will no longer terrorize the American people. And that is why we are here today. You will be held accountable if you do not follow federal law. It's over, it ends, and we're coming after you.
There you have it. You hear that? The Trump administration will not be tolerating these sanctuary states harboring illegal immigrants. In fact, just like Attorney General Bondi said, it seems like the plan is to go through the country, state by state, tearing down the entire notion of sanctuary states altogether. And you know what? Good. We are a country with federal immigration laws passed by our elected Congress. What that means is that states being run by radical progressives don't just get to decide to not follow those laws and instead harbor illegal immigrants and cartel gang members, terrorist organizations. So hey, I'll tell you what, folks, this is all just further proof that now that Trump is back in the White House, the progressive era of lawless anarchy has come to an end. And you know what? I think we can all be happy about that. As things stand right now, almost all of Trump's cabinet picks have been approved and sworn in, and I'll tell you what, it really does look like he's pretty much assembled the A-team. Without a doubt, one of Trump's biggest difficulties during his first administration was getting the right people, trustworthy people in the right positions, because without that proper personnel structure, getting anything done is almost impossible. And you know, no one is perfect, and I'm sure we can all find one or two problems with each of Trump's cabinet picks, sure, but I'll tell you what, as things stand right now, I think Trump pretty much has nothing but wind in his sails, so to speak. So far, Trump has been able to hit the ground running, and hey, as we've all seen, despite only being in office for 3 weeks, Trump has been able to accomplish an absolutely insane amount of work. But you know what? I guess this is what you can get done when you have a president that isn't taking naps 18 hours a day like the last guy that was in the White House. Going right from the Biden era back into the Trump era is such a knee-jerk difference, you almost get whiplash with just how different things are, and you know what? I'm not complaining one bit whatsoever. But hey, I think that's all I've got for you guys today with this video, so please go down below and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Please like the video if you liked it. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Like I said earlier, it really does help a ton and it means a lot. Thank you guys all very much for tuning in, and of course, as always, stay safe.